Welcome to another video from explainingcomputers.com. On the 14th of October 2025, support for Windows 10 comes to an end. This will leave it without security updates, and therefore all users need to decide what they're going to do. As I explained in a recent Windows 10 video, one option for users of Windows 10 Home or Windows 10 Pro is to get Consumer Extended Security Updates, or ESUs. These will keep Windows 10 secure until the 13th of October 2026, and in recent weeks Microsoft has released specific information on how to enroll in the Consumer ESU program. It's also begun rolling out this update wizard, which allows ESUs to be obtained for a one-off purchase of $30 or equivalent, or for no financial cost if you've collected 1,000 Microsoft reward points or are willing to share some of your PC settings. To enroll for ESUs, a computer must be up to date and running the latest version of Windows 10, which is 22H2. So, if you've disabled updates, you cannot get ESUs. But if you've somehow turned updates off, you probably don't want extended security updates anyway. What Microsoft have also told us is that the ESU license is tied to a Microsoft account. So, to be clear, you must log in to Windows 10 with a Microsoft account to get ESUs. And I know this will be unpopular with many people. But that's just how things stand, and is exactly what I predicted in my last Windows 10 video. On the positive side, as we have to log in with a Microsoft account anyway, we may as well obtain extended security updates for no financial cost by selecting the option to sync our PC settings. And so, what I'm about to demonstrate is how to get extended security updates without paying any money, but in a manner where the minimum amount of personal information is shared with Microsoft for the shortest period of time. Right, here we now are on a computer running Windows 10 Pro, which we're going to enroll for extended security updates with minimum data shared. If we go in the menu to Settings, like that, we will see straight away that this PC is logged in to a Microsoft account, which has to be the case to enroll for ESUs. Previously, I was using this PC with a local account, but earlier I logged in with an existing Microsoft account, as we can see here, although you could create a new one if you needed to, and this also involves setting up Windows Hello and all the other lovely Microsoft stuff. Note that the Microsoft account logged into must be an administrator account, which it will be if it's the only Microsoft account on the machine. But if, for example, a PC is shared amongst family members, you may have to check if you're logged in as an administrator. And we can do this here in Settings by clicking on Accounts. There we are, and we can see here I am logged in as an administrator, which has to be the case because this is the only Microsoft account on this computer. Also here in Accounts, if we go to Windows Backup, we can see that under Remember My Preferences that no synchronization of settings to Microsoft is turned on. And it is some of these settings that will need to be turned on to obtain ESUs for Windows 10 Home or Pro for free. But for now, I'm going to leave all of them off so I can show you all possible options in the ESU wizard, which will run up in a minute. So if we go back to Settings, we can see that as well as being logged into a Microsoft account on this computer, we're also logged into OneDrive, Microsoft's cloud storage system. And this may happen automatically when you log in to a Microsoft account on a PC, but if it doesn't, it will say sign in under OneDrive, and you can sign in using your Microsoft account credentials. And you have to be logged into OneDrive if you want to obtain ESUs for free by synchronizing your settings. However, contrary to many reports, we don't have to back up any of our documents, photos, or application data to OneDrive to get free ESUs. And right now, this PC does not have data backup enabled. This said, if we click on OneDrive and backup files, what will happen is, just wait a second, oh look, it's turned on backing up 3 folders. I'm going to turn that off again, like that, and like that. The save changes goes away, we can close it, but guess what, if I open it again, Oh look, Microsoft will repeat the trick. It will. It keeps trying to get you to back up things to OneDrive, but I'm going to leave all folder backups disabled. So let's now go down to Update and Security. This is the exciting bit where, as you can see, we have a message which says Windows 10 support ends in October 2025. Enroll in extended security update to help keep your device secure. According to Microsoft, this message will appear here in Settings and Update for most users by mid-August 2025. So you'll have to keep checking for it, and you may get a notification, or you might get something over here rather than something in the middle of the screen. And the reason I can see this in early July is that my Microsoft account and this PC are enrolled in something called the Windows Insider program, which allows you to run new versions of Windows before general release. And it's very handy, so I can show you this message in this video. So let's now click on Enroll Now to get our extended security updates. Here is the famed wizard we're all waiting for. And I've got quite a large scale factor set here in Windows so we can see things more easily on video, so I'll have to scroll around a bit so you can see everything on the screen. But I think we can see everything here, so we'll click on Next. Here we are, and we should have 3 potential options as I discussed in the last part of the video. And we do! Here they are. It says it's great that we're opting into extended security updates. Microsoft really wants us to be doing this. And as we can see, the options are back up your PC settings, that's the default, but we could redeem Microsoft Award points if we had them, or we could go for, if we go a bit further down, a one-time purchase, $30 or the equivalent in another currency. But we're going to go here for back up your PC settings at no extra cost, and we'll click on Next. And as we can see, this is pretty much all there is to it. Microsoft will be doing some settings changes in a second. And in exchange, we will get extended security updates valid until October the 13th, 2026. So let's click on Enroll. And we're now being enrolled into extended security updates. And there we are. It has completed. Isn't that exciting? We're now enrolled. We can just click on Done. And oh look, up here on the right it says your PC is enrolled to get extended security updates. So the next thing I'm going to do is to turn off the synchronization settings I think Windows will have turned on. So let's go back to Accounts and to a Windows backup for this account. And yes, we can see, oh look, it's turned things on. So I'm going to turn them off like that and go back. And we're going to check that under OneDrive. Did it turn things on? I don't think it did. Let's just turn these off again. If we turn them off, it's taken away the save button, so clearly it didn't turn them on, but clearly on this PC we aren't synchronizing folders to OneDrive or account settings that we just turned off. So let's go back to Update and Security. And yes, we are still enrolled to get extended security updates. And to prove it, let's just do a reboot. I'm always cynical, so we'll try rebooting. And here we are back again. Let's just go back into Settings and down to Update and Security. Has it kept things even though we turned off synchronization? Yes, it has. And I'm not surprised by this because apparently extended security updates for Windows 10 Home and Pro are linked to a Microsoft account and a PC. And once they are enabled, once they are linked to a PC, it doesn't matter if you change the settings. And so we've ended up here with a Windows 10 PC enrolled in extended security updates for no payment and with very little data shared at all. In fact, the only data shared was settings and account information at the point of enrollment, and I'm certain on this computer the only account logged into was the Microsoft account. So Microsoft have just got a copy of their own data, which doesn't worry me very much at all. And I'm very pleased that I can now run this Windows 10 PC with security updates until November 2026. Greetings! Just before we wrap, I thought you may be interested to know that whilst you have to be logged into a Microsoft account to enroll for extended security updates, it appears you can return to using a local account after your computer is registered. So let's go to Settings there we are, and to accounts, where we can see our Microsoft account we're logged in with. But there is a link here, as we can see, to sign in with a local account instead. So let's click on that. And of course, Microsoft wants us to confirm we want to do this, which we do. And I now need to enter my Windows Hello PIN. And because this machine was being used with a local account previously, that username has come up, although it seems we need to change the password. There we go. No, we don't. It seems that a password hint is required, so we'll enter that. And then click on Next. And there we are. We just now need to sign out and finish. And I think I'll select to sign in using a password. So I'll go to Sign In Options and enter my password. And there we are, once again logged in using a local account. And we'll just check by going back to Settings. There we are, we're definitely back to using a local account. And just to make this PC really our own again, we can also disconnect it from OneDrive using the icon down here. And if you don't have this icon on the taskbar, it'll probably be hiding with some other icons down there, but I've got the icon here, so we'll click on OneDrive like that. And interestingly, it says your files are synced, even though we know they aren't. But regardless, we'll click on Settings and then go to Account. And then finally, unlink this PC. And oh look, we have to do it twice because Microsoft wants to check. Fair enough. And there we are, OneDrive is now disconnected. And before I check that Windows 10 ESUs are still active, let's restart the system. Here we go, and I must go into Options and set password as my default, but I'll do it like that for now. And here we are, back on my desktop, where for a final time in this video, we will go to Settings. Oh look, it wants us to use OneDrive. We've just turned it off. That must tell us it's been turned off. It's nice of Microsoft to confirm that. And if we go back to Update and Security, you know what I'm looking for. There it is. Yes, our PC is still enrolled to get extended security updates. And I guess that Microsoft obtained the information on this PC they wanted in exchange for the free ESU enrollment. And if for any reason this does disappear, we can also just log in again with our Windows account and re-execute the wizard, which would presumably reappear. If you're prepared to at least briefly log into Windows 10 with a Microsoft account, then the Consumer ESU program adds another year to the time available to plan for end of support. And as I covered in my recent Windows 10 video, there are lots of longer term options available, even for computers that don't officially support Windows 11. And I imagine that in a year's time, Windows 12 will also be entering the fray. But now that's it for another video. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, please press that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I hope to talk to you again very soon.